that. You still down here?
National lights, right?
Cool.
Gotta get ready to get the Instagram up on a Monday. All right, Instagram is now going up and hello. It's your boy, the Beast One. Welcome to another episode of Dad Mentality Podcast, and I got a great one for y'all this week. We got a couple fill-in co-hosts. We got our boy, y'all know him from the Battle to the Glory podcast. My man Chef Dennis joining us, and we got our old boy coming back from work to join us this time. Y'all know him as the Ice Cream Man, Mighty Ice Cold Crypto's here, but we also got Reggie Foreman. He's an author, and we're going to get into everything that he's into definitely once we get into the cast. They change some things up, but y'all know what it is. It's Dad Mentality.
What is that's mentality? What it is? The mentality of taking care of family. As a man, I get lonely. I can't even call my homies, but I answer every call when my kids call me. I'll be there when they need me. They depending on me. They looking up to me. Sometimes we gotta fix our mental. Or maybe it's not meant to be a dad, a father, that's what men do. I made a promise to my kids, that's what I do. I just want them to do things better than I do. Or better yet, better things that I did. What is that's mentality? What it is? The mentality of taking care of family. As a man, I get lonely. I can't even call my homies, but I answer every call when my kids call me. I'll be there when they need me. They depending on me. They looking up to me. Welcome to the show, shout out to the coach. And Matty Ice Cold Crypto. And each one, teach one. That's mentality, we just try and reach one. What is, that's mentality.
Hello. It's your boy, the Beast One. Welcome again to Dad Mentality Podcast. Thank you all for joining us today. As I said, I'm so excited about the guest that I have here today. But as y'all know, I don't do it by myself. I got my co-host with me today. As y'all can see, Coach is not here today. He had some engagement, a new fellowship that he is joining that is great. That happened to start on Monday, so you might not see him for a while, but we still keep it going. But we also got a rejoining of our great co-host that has been out for a while because he's been working, but I'm excited that he's here. Y'all know him as the diversified hustler. Y'all know him as wealthy and blessed. Y'all know him as the Ice Cream Man. My man, Matty Ice Cold Crypto. What's going on, Matty Ice? How you doing today, sir?
I'm good. Blessed, man. Happy to be back with y'all today.
Man, I'm happy you came and joined us, even though you don't got the normal setup, but I appreciate you taking the time to come hang out with us. Also, this guy is no stranger to the podcast. Y'all know, because I usually join him on Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 6:30. It's from the Battle to the Glory. Unfortunately, we got the lesser of the two co-hosts. Lady T couldn't make it, so I just said Chef Dennis can come on and hang out. But y'all know him. Y'all know him as the chef, the best chef of the East. My man, Chef Dennis. What's going on, Chef Dennis?
What's up, family and friends? How y'all doing?
Doing great. I'm excited that we are here and had a good time. But you know, let's say we got a great guest joining us today. This gentleman, I actually met him from Chef Dennis from the Battle to the Glory podcast. I knew I had to get this gentleman here. Now, just to give a little stuff about him, he is what I would call a man that took something bad and turned it into great. He started off, he was an ex-offender. He became an entrepreneur, a keynote speaker, certified life coach, an author of Reginald Foreman's Life is the testimony of God and grace and transformation. He also has Reggie the Lion under his belt, which is a great kids show going into his second season. He also just wrote awesome book that me and Coach definitely read, and it's called Death in the Wilderness. If you got it, if you love his podcast, love what this man said, make sure you go support him in all these things that he's doing. And he's doing so many great more things. But it's my boy, your friend, my friend, and now your friend Reggie Foreman. What's up, sir? How you doing today?
Hey, man, I can't even complain. It won't change it. I'm glad to be in the building. Thank you for having me.
Man, I'm glad you here. And if y'all saw earlier, he had his beautiful wife with him. She is part of Velvet J's Bakery. I think she's the founder and everything. So I went a little Facebook stalk and saw them cupcakes on deck. I'm definitely gonna have to get me an order, figure out how we gonna get those cupcakes to the DMV area, man. How we gonna make that happen, sir?
Hey, man, we've done some shipping. We definitely can talk. I always tell people I was a little more cut before I got married. She got me eating good. Them pound cakes and stuff.
Man, ain't nothing wrong with that. I don't know if I believe the cut thing, but we go ahead.
That's where we going. Yeah.
But ain't nothing wrong with that.
I came out that thing right. It's all right.
Yeah, I got it.
Watch out, Reg. He's sharp, Reg. Watch out, Reg.
I went from a 2X to a 3X, boy.
All right, there you go. All right. So anyway, I do appreciate you coming out and joining us today, man, as we have our conversation. We're going to go ahead and start the show as you know we do. We started with our self-care check-in. For all our people in the comments, please make sure you check in and let us know how you feeling. Will we give a rating from 0 to 10 and let you know how your week is going and where you're starting out? I'm going to go ahead and let Chef Dennis begin our self-care check-in. Tell us how you feeling, where you at from 0 to 10, and what you looking forward to, Chef.
All right. When I started out the week, I mean, I was like at a 10. I'm at a 7 right now. The reason why I'm 7, still working out some things, but the reason why I'm at a 10, because truly, listen, Sunday service was powerful, so the spirit was moving. When I'm talking about moving, listen, I don't know about you in your life and how you were, but when you see other people come to Christ and you see them pouring out crying because the spirit has moved their heart to join the party of rejoicing, that is something great. And so my spirit was moved. I'm talking about moved because this young lady came up there, gave her life to Christ. It was a party at church. And if you used to party, you know what it is when you really party. You drinking and you partying. Listen, it's a different type of party when you partying for God. Trust me. And I'm telling you, that's how I feel. That's why I said I was at a 10, but I'm at a 7 now because, working on some things at home. But that doesn't mean anything. I just want to share that with you guys because guess what? It's a party. It's party time. Party with the Lord. Understand what I mean by saying partying for the Lord. It's something different. It's just the mood is too. It's just filled with joy. I'm serious. Listen, I'm here. I'm excited. I'm not going to hold up you guys, but I'm telling you, that's how, look, I feel so much joy because when you see other people come to Christ and you can look at them and knowing that they're going through something, but then you see their surrenderance, they're giving their life to God, it's something different. It's something different. It ain't even the same.
All right. I see you, Chef. Chef getting pumped up for us. All right. What about you, Matty X? Let's tell me where you are from 0 to 10, brother.
Man, I'm probably sitting at about a 7.5, man. I'm feeling good though. Definitely could be feeling better, man. I think I'm going up the scale. Just been moving around, a little tired. I wish I was, in the comforts of my home, but man, out of town all week, working out of town. So wish I was at home with the family, but definitely not complaining. Like you say, Rodney, I don't have to, I get to. So definitely blessed,
right,
to have this opportunity to be working, man, doing my thing, making good money, still running my business and stuff. But, just a little switch up of things, man, just working a lot and being out of town a lot these past few months, with the job. But definitely, blessed to have a good job that's paying well. So I'm definitely not gonna complain about that. You know what I mean? But just about a 7.5, just because just a little tired. Had to get on the road, you know what I mean, today, back and forth these last few days. But I think once I get some rest, you know what I mean, I'll be up to 8.5, with just a little tired today.
Yeah, I feel you, man. You always gotta remember there's somebody wishing to have your life. No matter how bad things are going, somebody out there wishing to have your life. I was talking to a dude the other day. He was like, "Yeah, I got to ride this bike every day to work." And then he said, "I was feeling bad about it till I saw the guy in the wheelchair who wished he could ride the bike." So you sit here and you think that your life is going bad until there's always somebody wishing they can do what you're going to do. So focusing on that is really what keeps you going. Valleys and hills, man. Valleys and hills. For me personally, right now, you know what? This show really put a huge boost of happiness in my life, even though everything was good. But earlier this week, I hurt myself pretty bad. I was doing something good. Yeah, I know, Matt. You saw the video. Yes.
Are you gonna play the video for everybody?
Yeah,
No,
I'm not playing the video,
Matty
man.
Ice, chill. Matty Ice, chill.
Nah, it's all good. I got taken out by my neighbor's dog. My neighbor's dog, we now call her Ray Lewis, because she came and took my legs out and tackled me harder than anything. Almost, it felt like a mini car hit me, but it, messed up my knee a little bit. So I've been walking and limping around, but I'm still good, man. I would say I'm a good 8.5. I'm still so excited. My wife is doing great things, and more great things are happening for her. And like I said, it's a huge difference when you wake up on purpose. And that is waking up on your purpose. And my wife is living that right now. And I'm so excited for her and love that how God opened up the doors for her. And what's crazy is she started doing this. She's living a purpose. Now she gets a job interview. She's been trying to get a job interview for 10 months. And as soon as she get in here and start working on her purpose, she get a job interview. And all that job interview did was show her how much she was in her purpose, because she did not want that job. So, that's how God works, and it's great about the things that he does. So, waking up and seeing my wife going out and the stories that she tells me about how she's affecting and getting people is, great. Shout out to Miss Thomas Foster. I see you out there. Make sure y'all say something in the comments. Give you how y'all feeling from 0 to 10 this week, so we can say what's up. Make sure you talk to somebody. You never know how a person's feeling. All right, now we're going to go to our special guest, Reggie Foreman. Can you please tell me how you feeling from 0 to 10, what you rating your week, and what you looking forward to this week?
Hey, man, I definitely say I'm at an 8.5. Had a couple of things happen in the midst of striving that definitely had me praying harder and getting, like you said, reaching out for help. And that's the best thing I like what you said. If you are going through something heavy, definitely reach out to the right people that can fill you up. So we're doing better, man. We're in the midst of the wilderness as we're still writing the book, we'll get into. So it's still some things, but I can definitely tell you, God is birthing something out of the soil in the dry land. It's like he ain't waiting to the promised land to it turn green. He birthing stuff for our business and our ministry, but definitely while that is happening, the enemy is hitting, but it's all about a part of growth spurt. So what I'm looking for, man, is just being able to help other people through our TV channel, which I said I'm sure we'll get more into, and bring people on and getting these books more out and these bookings to talk about death in the wilderness.
Yeah, absolutely. Look at that there. Mrs. Foreman says she is a solid 7. I'm excited for her to be joining us today. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now I showed that. I definitely expect some like a half dozen of cupcakes to be shipped. I'll send my address. I'll put my address. Give it to your husband. You know what I'm saying? Give me a good 6-7 cupcakes. I'll do a review online and all that good stuff.
Hey, I'm telling you, it's like cook crap. I'm gonna give you a quick little testimony with that. As I moved down out of Alabama, where she used to tell me how it was, until I seen the sale and they was lining up like it was like cook crack, cook dope coming up out of there. They was coming for them cookies and them cakes, bro. I was like, she wasn't lying. I mean, they just kept coming in there. Her red velvet, everything. Oh no, she the truth with that. Never went to school. God has blessed her hands. We deals coming at us about the cupcakes, but I'm telling you, cook dope. Yeah, trap house.
There you go. I got it right there. She said she got me. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Kevin Hughes. He'll be joining us next week.
My
I'm
guy,
excited about him. Yeah,
Mr.
excited about
Hughes.
that as well. But let's get ready to get into some conversation. Now, I did have so I read the book. Coach also read the book, and we, was definitely excited about having you on here. I definitely did some more reinvestigate. There you go, Death in the Wilderness. Now, I do got a quick question for you because when I saw Death in the Wilderness, it immediately like resonated with me because I remember my time of being in the wilderness, and I definitely felt that. And even on this show, I had to kill my old personality. My old personality is the Beast One. If you watch previously before this year, you would see that my moniker was always the Beast One, the Beast One. And when I went through my wilderness, one of the things I had to realize was that I had to kill that person. That person. Two things I realized. One, I realized that person was no longer necessary. I
That's
didn't
good.
need him anymore. You know what I'm saying? He was a persona that I created to protect myself when I felt like I needed protection. But in reality, I didn't need him no more. Reality, I wasn't even that dude. You know what I'm saying? And God showed that to me, and I had to kill him. But then the second thing was that it helped me listen. You know what I'm saying? It helped me listen to God. It helped me get all the other voices, and even the worst voice. And we talked about this last week. That the worst voice that you can have sometimes is your own. You know what I'm saying? Because you can talk yourself right out of blessings. So, when I saw that, I knew that it was a book that I wanted to read and get into. But I do want to know, why did you pick Death in the Wilderness as your title?
Well, I had to after praying because I wasn't prepared for no wilderness. When God was telling us that He was leading me and my wife into a wilderness, because we were at the height of our time, man. Just released our 10 episodes, our TV show. I was on red carpets. I was speaking everywhere. And He said, "I'm leading you into a wilderness." And I'm like, wait a minute, I know the wilderness, and began to read it, and I realized in the wilderness, your old self, just what you said, your character, your old ways of thinking have to die.
Mm-hmm.
It has to die so that the new person, you see that the new person can be elevated. And so I was like, Lord, you trying? Hey, let me tell you like this, straightforward. If you see on the movies or in real life, some of us been some street cats. Somebody will shoot somebody twice. They supposed to be dead, but because of whatever anger or hostility, they'll come back and unload the clip on them. That's overkill. And that's how I feel like God been doing. He been killing like, Lord, I don't need another problem, another storm to happen. I don't need nothing else to go wrong. But at the same time, it's just like you said, the old character, man, had to die. And so in the wilderness, God is trying to elevate your spirit. He's trying to bring out the better person. Like I was talking to a dude that had in the lift today, and I told him, I did 8.5 in the Pheasant State. I was going through all that. Then he said, "You wrote 10." I wrote 10 books, and I don't read as much as I need to. But that's the old person dying, the old beliefs of who they wanted Reginald Foreman to be, the street dude, the prison. No, I'm an author, I'm an entrepreneur. I tell people with gladness and not boasting. Well, it was a little bit of boasting in the beginning. I ain't gonna lie, he had to humble me. But I tell him, Google me. It don't say ex-bank robber. It say, "Oh man, this dude been on this. He's wrote these." I'm happy for that because that's a part of dying. You got to die so that the person that God sees lives. So that's why I call it Death in the Wilderness, because I'm straight dying up in this joint.
Okay, I feel you. I definitely feel you on that. Chef Dennis, you ever had a time that you felt like you was dying in the wilderness, or you had to commit death, some type of death in the wilderness?
Of course, as I can relate to death in the wilderness, because there was a part of me that I had to die, and this would go to most men. The most thing we all struggle with, I can speak, I'm speaking from my experience, is being humble. Because in the midst of your anger, how can you be humble if you're not willing to say, you know what, this is not my battle, this is your battle, God. And so if you're not able to do that, how can you hear God's voice? And so in the midst of me understanding that I had to be broken, I received that, you know what I'm saying? Like, there were things that were stripped away from me. Like I said, I had a brand new car. It got repoed, got the car back. And then when I got the car back, guess what? because I wasn't humble, because I wasn't obedient, I wasn't doing the things that I was supposed to do with the things that God blessed me with. God said, okay, let me take this away from me. So the car got repoed. Then after it got repoed, I did everything I was supposed to get the car back. They sold it. And when they sold it, I couldn't get it back. I didn't have money saved up. I didn't do none of that. And so God said, okay, now mind you, I was getting ready I was going through a divorce, but I was getting ready to just go all out and just having fun, just sleeping with women, doing all those type of things. God said, no. You have a calling on your life. You're not going to do that. And so I was broken because guess what? I had to walk in the sleet, rain, snow by myself. With nobody, I couldn't call on nobody because guess what? In the midst of me going to work, everybody sleep. I had to walk to the train station, to the bus station by myself. And so I look at that storm. I look at how God brought me out. What I had to learn in that storm was being humble, being thoughtful, but not just thinking about myself, thinking about others first. And so I didn't have that mindset. I was like, man, it's all about me. I'm going to get what I got to get. And so that's part of being in the wilderness. You know how lonely it is when you don't got nobody. It's just, you really got family, but God says, no, I need you by yourself. And why? So you can hear clearly. This is no game. This is a true story. When I was by myself, guess what? When I was out there getting drunk, pissy drunk, trying to go to work, God said, man, listen, I'm being so real because it's exciting to me to be able to tell my story to people, and so they can see I've been there, I've done it. So I'm not speaking just to be speaking. It's an experience that I experienced, that I know somebody else is going through it. And how do you get through that? You got to be obedient. And then in your obedience, watch this. Look, you hear that? In your obedience, you will gain resilient. That's something you get in being obedient, because guess what? You got to be able to hear the voice of God. And I'm gonna leave you guys with this. And the people that don't have a relationship, it's the season to get a relationship with God right now. If I don't know your circumstance, I don't know your situation, but truly, it's the season, because guess what? Know this. You might not believe this. We living in the last evil days. Trust me. Too much is going on in the world. It's being fulfilled. Whether you believe the Bible or not, it's being fulfilled. Know that. And God is showing you, listen, I am the way and the only way. Know that God loves you. I'm going to stop it here, man, because I'm going to let Matty Ice go, man, because I'm telling you right now, man.
All right, Matty Ice, before we got to pass the collection plate. Matty
Yeah,
Ice.
I was about to say how I go after that, man. He on fire, man. You should let me go first, man. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
You
look,
already
y'all got me.
you already
Listen, I
know what
love
stuff we
y'all,
gonna
man. Y'all
do.
got me fired up, man. I
You
love this,
already
man. I
do.
love y'all.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
man. You got a time that you felt like you
Yeah,
was
no,
going through the
most definitely,
wilderness?
man. Definitely life has taught me lessons, man. When I've been out in the wilderness, man. You know what I mean? Like maybe 15 years ago, you know what I mean? Had a flourishing, you know what I mean, career, that I was doing for years, straight out of high school, man. You know what I mean? Making great money, taking care of the family. Made some decisions, you know what I mean, that wasn't the best decisions, that I shouldn't have been making at the time, you know what I mean, coming from where we come from. And, you know what I mean, end up getting jammed up, catching some charges, and, you know what I mean, losing my position that I had with that company, you know what I mean? So, but from that, it caused me to refocus, you know what I mean, and find another way. And when I did that, I learned about real estate, man, met some great people, man, started my ice cream business, man, you know what I mean, found out about crypto, you know what I mean, and came back better than ever, better than I probably would have been even if I would have stayed with that position at that job, you know what I mean, at that time. So life has definitely taken me in a lot of directions, man. I'm definitely blessed, you know what I mean, to have a strong queen by my side who was there for me at my rock bottom, you know what I mean, and seeing, we come back to the top, you know what I mean, and we still moving forward. But man, life and God, you know what I mean, is always there. You know what I mean? He'll never gonna give you a lesson that you're not strong enough to overcome. You just gotta kind of be aware, you know what I'm saying? You gotta be aware of yourself and know that it's a test that you're going through, and try to, feel as good as you can as you're moving through, man, and know that you're going through a test. And hey, and you'll come out on the top. You'll come out on the bright side, man. Storms don't last forever.
I know that's right.
They definitely don't. They definitely don't, man. And I mean, it also comes with that. If you if you going down the path where you're getting closer to God and you're getting with Him, there's going to be storms. There's going to be things that come in your way, because the devil's going to try to tempt you. He's going to try to distract you. There's things that's going to happen. So, I mean, it's really about, for me, I'm trying to learn how to look at it differently. Even though the wilderness is a part of a place that we go into, but it's really a place that that God is getting you ready for something. Now, whether He's getting you ready for it, I don't know, but is that's definitely something that I feel. Now, my question to you guys, I'll start with Reggie. Is when you were going through that wilderness, was there something that you stuck to that really was the thing that kept you focused during this time? Or what was that? What did you have to hold on to for that?
Well, man, first off, thank you for putting my name in there. You left an E out, so they ain't gonna be able to get to the website. Yeah, at
All right, I'll fix
reginaldforeman.com.
that.
That's the main thing that's in this book, man. God told me straightforward. If anybody that knows the Bible know about John the Baptist, he was a voice in the wilderness, and God told me I will be a voice from the wilderness. So he told me to detail and write it in the book. And I think Chef alluded to a lot of it. Man, my prayer life had to increase. First of all, I had to really learn God's voice, because when you hit it, man, God is preparing you for something. So I've been able to accomplish a couple of things before that, but God was like, there's certain things you can't take to the next level. And so there was a lot of praying and remembering what God said to me. When it gets dark, you need a word from God. People can encourage you. You can read the Bible, but and the Bible says Paul was riding on a horse to Damascus and he got knocked off the horse. He was blinded. He had an encounter one-on-one encounter with Jesus. So for me, just even especially going through prison, it was hard, illegally sentenced to 18 and a half years. That was a wilderness for me. I had to know God's voice. So in that is your prayer life needs to increase. I'm getting up earlier, fasting, doing everything I can so that I can understand God, where are we going now. In the part of that, he'll show you other things, like I had to worship. I had to be grateful, gratitude. You start looking for, hey, Lord, I'm thankful we eating today. I'm thankful this opening up. I'm like right now, still in the wilderness, but my spirit is coming out of and things are being produced. I had to learn gratitude to the fullest. The old Reggie did, what I accomplished is dead. Where am I at right now? But one thing you learn, it's a comma, not a period. It's a comma. God's still gonna move. So what got me through is my prayer life and me knowing God's voice, remembering what he told me, and God don't lie.
Okay, so in this book, and I do want to express that in this book is very current what you're talking about and what you're going through. And I'll say this, I was a little disappointed because I wanted to hear the ending. Like, I knew once I got done with the book, I was like, oh, now I gotta read another one. I was happy, but I was disappointed because I wanted it right then. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, well, all right, I'm ready.
We gave some things. We gave some things at the end.
Well,
yeah, doors start opening now.
I understand that. I don't want to. Hold on. I don't look. If you want to know what we're talking about, get the book. Yeah. So I'm gonna talk about, because I did want to go into, because once I read the book, then I started doing some Facebook stalking and things like that, and I watched some other shows that you had and stuff like that, because I was curious to. You wrote this book about death in the wilderness, and to me, it seems kind of small to some of the stuff. It's not really small, but when I read and heard about the 18 years in prison, the 4.5 that you actually,
you talking about my life before?
Yeah, I was like, wasn't that the wilderness? Like, how do you get here?
I want to answer that. I like how you that's good. That's why I said there's stages of wilderness in your life. You got a guess back there, Chef.
Hey, chef's better half.
That's why I say you said it right. There are stages to wilderness in your life. Prison. I was homeless after, like I said, being on CBN, TBN, writing 8 books. I wrote 8 books before this, and I was homeless for 2 years. People like, ain't you the dude that was in front of the newspaper? That was a wilderness season, but I wasn't told to write about that one. God told me to write about this one because he wanted me to teach from it. And brother, when I say people coming up to me, bro, in our church, like we watching y'all, hotel in Texas, 7 months, hotel to hotel. Power was cut off. IRS was hotter than us. We thought we was finna explode, and God said, "No, I'm gonna prepare you for where I'm sending you." I'm like, "We doing good right now. What we doing?" So what I'm saying is, this wilderness was more spiritually minded, Reggie. See, oh, thank you, Holy Ghost. Before it was Reggie trying to prove something to somebody. I was trying to get money, still serving God, but I was trying to show everybody that turned their back on me. Look what God did with me. Look who you turned your back on. It was me going through the door and saying, God, hey, come with me, God. This is where I want to go. Now I'm like, God, I surrender. If you want me to put, we'll show you. Reggie Lion, blow multi-million-dollar idea. If you want me to put it down, I'll do it. I couldn't do that before. It's in this wilderness that I really died. I'm like, when I came out of prison, I still was trying to figure out how I'm gonna do it. When I came out of homelessness, I was praying, but I was still trying to figure out how am I gonna do it. This time I'm like, look, God, whatever you say, I'm surrendered. So this is a different wilderness of finally surrendering. So you're still gonna go through stages because a lot of us keep something in the background, like, well, God, if it don't work, I'm going to get this job. I'm gonna figure it out. But God is like, you're not hearing me. I have given you life and purpose. You will not excel until you really die. And so in this wilderness with my wife, being in a homeless, feeling like homeless in a hotel, telling me to move to Texas out of nowhere from Alabama, didn't know how we was gonna do it, and then writing this book. But to see the people come to me and say, man, we watching y'all. Y'all are inspiration to us. I was told to do some years ago, I couldn't do it. It's watching all the people come and understanding this is why you said it. And then attached to this TV platform we have that's been given to us.
Okay.
I see Maddie down there rocking, though. I'm watching Maddie down there.
Yeah, nah, because you're speaking to me right now, man. You know what I mean? Because, yeah, I had a journey
Hey, how
similar,
you
man.
feeling?
You know what I mean? I'm sitting here at work now. Like I said, I'm not complaining, but I never expected to be back working again after years. You know what I'm saying? I haven't had a job in over 15 years. But you know what I mean? Life comes at you fast sometimes. Situation presented itself. It was a great opportunity. I took it, but you know what I mean? Running my business and different things like that was true to my heart. You know what I'm saying? And this is definitely taking time from me being able to do those things. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, from having my store for a few years, but before I got this, we closed the store down. So, you know what I mean? Some of those things I want to get another storefront, different things, you know what I mean? So hearing you, it's definitely speaking to me, man. You know what I mean? What you're saying. I'm definitely an entrepreneur at heart. And you know what I mean? But yeah.
Because I'm gonna say this, Maddie, I'm gonna speak directly to you from the Holy Spirit. We all can get money, but I know multimillionaires that commit suicide. I know multimillionaires that don't have happiness. Not anybody, but truly, if you learn, they're scammers. We can get money, but can not just salvation when we leave here, but what is the real peace that you and your family are a unit and a whole? And God wants to show you I have greater for you, which I still struggle with, and I talk it, travel, speak it. And I'm like, God, like I said, don't shoot me no more. It's hard. But the greater calling in you, he brings everything with you. He brings your heart, your peace, and your family, your baby, your girlfriend, your wife, whatever. And so sometimes we don't look at the whole unit because we succeeding. But that don't mean everybody else succeeding. That don't mean everybody else is growing. My wife, if she could be on here one day, we'll get Ronnie have both of men. She said she's grown leap and bounds through the faith through me, and then her having to die to Christ. Because we were sitting in the house, y'all. Power was out. And it's hard as a man. I mean, we in there, the power out. My wife got a scarf on, hoodie, and everybody, man, why don't you go get a job? I'm hearing God say, and I looked over at my wife, y'all, and I'm like, God, this ain't for my wife. I can be homeless in the car and get it. I know what you gave me. I know who I am, but she cold. And he said, those who reap with you must also labor with you. He said, I can't take her out of it because I'm teaching her something too. And she powerful right now. He said, you can't, just like my son is in a wheelchair. I can't fight everybody that pick at him. I'm way over here in Texas. He's in Richmond, Virginia. But I have to speak to his spirit and his mind and let him know that's some of his trials that he gonna grow through. So what I'm saying is God doing something in both of us through the wilderness so that we can both be strong. Because it's harder when you feel like nobody can't understand you or nobody ain't getting what you're going through. So God say, yeah, you can get money. Okay, cool. But can your peace and your heart abound greatness? And that's what I'm telling you, bro. While you going through, please, Maddie, if you don't get anything I'm saying, man, talk to God, surrender, and say, Lord, have you. Then you're going to find out it get a little rough. You already went through the wilderness. But it's better to go through the wilderness while you're walking with him than being against him. There's a resistance when, the enemy trying to stop you. But then there's a resistance when God trying to get your attention. That's a whole nother thing. I don't need him to get my attention no more. Now I know we walking together.
Powerful, yeah. Hey, hey, where can I might have to see if I can reach out to you offline, my brother.
Please do that. Life coach, all. Hey, man, I'm with you. I just felt that for you because why I hear it in your heart. Sometimes we don't show it, but God will let us hear it. I see it in your heart.
All right. Pastor Dennis, you got something else you want to add to that?
Hey man, I'm listening right now. I like no seriously. I just let the spirit move. There's no interjection or anything. The spirit is moving right now. He spoke to Matty Ice, and you know what I mean. That's what it is. So I my thing is the same thing. Just to piggyback of anything, is to encourage. Like I said, like Reggie said, it's the relationship, man. When you really and since you asked me to speak, like. The key thing is truly for all men, I'll say that, is the surrendering part, giving everything to God and let God direct your path. Not like he said, it ain't about money. Let me share something with y'all. So I wasn't a tither, bruh. God blessed me with a great career. I wasn't a tither. I didn't tithe. So, my wife stayed on my back. She's like, yo, you should tithe. You should tithe. You should tithe. So now I'm tithing. I'm not tithing because I want more money. I'm tithing because God has blessed me abundantly. And so now I'm pouring back into God's house. Guess what? I do. And you know how some people can get where, well, you doing this and the pastor got this. I don't care about that. I'm being obedient. That's in the word of God. Being a tither, being a cheerful giver. So what they do, it don't have nothing to do with me. That is on their life, not mine. I'm being obedient. And what God's going to bless me, he going to bless me. But guess what? Finance is an issue for men that just don't understand that you have to be a good steward of your finance. If God has blessed you, it's about stewardship. And guess what? If you can't be a good steward of the things he give you, the little he give you, how can you be a steward of the things he give you greater? You can't. Even with your family, being a steward over your family is important. Guess what? I was just talking to a brother. Listen, you can be a provider, but not an active father. What is more greater? Being an active father is greater because guess what? You're going to support them, but being an active father, being in the present, in the midst of your family, guess what? They're going to see greatness in you. That's going to inspire them to be something great. Whether it's your daughters, your sons, your brothers, they said, man, I want what Matty Ice got. I want what Rodney got. I want not to be jealous or envy. They say, you know what? I see them hardworking, striving, good father, good husband. Man, I want to know. And that's your opportunity to tell them your relationship with God. Yeah, and that's not even just the attack on you, Matty Ice. It's that's the brother love that I have for you and everybody else. It's the encouragement. That's what it is. It's not about me. I don't want to be. I'm working on truly surrendering unto God. Because guess what? I wanted a food truck. Guess what? That might not be in my cards. Somebody spoke something over my life. That might not be in my cards because that's not what God had for me. He got something greater for me. I'm already set up. I'm already got it lined up. Money and everything. God said, that's my heart's desire. But God says, nope. I got something better for you. Because if I focused on the food trucks, guess what? Now it lacks for me helping other brothers, helping other husbands, because I'm so focused on my future. Nah, God said, no, I got something better for you. And where I can make money for you, right? And you still serve me. See, I wasn't thinking like that. That's the renewal of my mind. Constantly.
That's good. Amen.
Constantly. Go ahead.
Thanks. Oh, that's good.
Man, I hear you. I'm you know, for me personally in the wilderness, and you know, I came out and early this year I decided to quit my job and decided to follow where God wants me to go. And I'm still trying to figure that out. But in the meanwhile, it's so great just watching, because I'm being obedient, watching the blessings fall down from me and hit my children, hit my wife. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I talk about when I quit my job, I had no idea how my daughter was going to go to school. But because I went through the wilderness and now I can hear God talking clearly to me, he was like, nah, send her. And I was like, well, I ain't got 14 grand, God. I don't know what's going on, but nah, send her. I was like, well, maybe she can do PG, you know, the community college. Nah.
Right.
I was like, well, what about this graduation party? I don't need to throw this graduation party. I can save, you know, money on that. No, God said, throw her the party. She deserves it. Do keep on doing the thing, and we'll see. And then, sure enough, first day of school, first day of classes, still haven't paid that tuition. I ain't figured out how. We get an email. Her tuition went from 14 grand to 1,300.
Ooh.
In one email. You know what I'm saying? And after that, I said, God, I'm good. Like, whatever you got to say, I'm following, brother. Cause now I'm good. Cause that right there was the biggest.
What you say? I think you misspoke. You said it went from what to what?
14,000 to 1,300.
I bet he say you might have been a glitch or something.
14,000 to 1,300.
Oh, it went down to 1,300.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, that's
and I paid it
Ronnie,
immediately.
That's so powerful,
that money
bro.
as fast as I could. Yeah, and you know what? And that let me, you know, that right there, because I was listening and I was like, you know, because me, I wanted to shut down everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't spending $1 no more. We can't go nowhere. It's oodles and noodles, you know. But nah, God had it, you know, God kept on telling me, nah, trust me.
Man,
and, you know.
Man, what I want to say, Ronnie, to that, man, I love that you shared that, because you're in the point of death in the woods. Like you said, it taught me to hear God's voice. Anybody that talks about the wilderness, John the Baptist had to hear God's voice. There was nobody around him in the wilderness. Everybody from John, but if anybody that went through a wilderness, it draws you closer. When it said that the children of Israel in the wilderness was led by the fire, led by they were led by God personally. So you doing that, that's a big leap, because you all the way to the day of it. Like, man, God, we still ain't got the money for this, because you heard him though. And that's all we've been doing. That's why I said the irony of us writing the book now and still in the wilderness, but like I said, things are opening, is the point of us hearing his voice. Because you got to look crazy sometime to people. You got to look like, man, what is you doing? Because it's about, like Noah was building the ark. Anything that you're asked to do when it's something greater is going to have to say that only God could have done it. So when you tell people, hey, man, I ain't come up with no boldness. I heard God say do this. I didn't have the money. He had to show you, you won't get the glory for this. I allowed that to be brought down. I knew that was going to happen. So that's what's been happening for us in the wilderness. The first part is how we get to Reggie the Lion. He told us to do the TV show. And I'm like, God, we don't have the money. The same way I'm saying we need a big, I'm trying to do animation 55 to 30 to 55 grand a pop for one episode. I'm like, we don't even have that. Then my wife said, baby, you can do it. You a TV person. So we did the Fat Albert and Friends, like how it was live action with Bill Cosby, then some animation clips. I mean, it just came together. People started sewing. But what I always tell people, me obeying that has brought us to the doors opening in Texas. We got media companies reaching out us that reach 100 countries, 30-some thousand churches, 2 TV stations. Then they asked us to run one. And I'm going faster before we go in it, but it was the completing something and following his voice. So they're asking us to run it's 1 million people in Texas. We just moved here 7 months. You supposed to get that to somebody that's born and bred in Fort Worth. They asked us to run the TV station, channel in Fort Worth. Now we get to bring other podcasts and other TV shows on through us. But that's the point of hearing God's voice, because he's getting ready to build a kingdom in each area. And he knows when I get on there, you got to come on there with something. I ain't just putting you on there. It could be great conversation, but if you not something that's going to edify and build somebody up, God know what I'm going to do. But I had to take that step in a wilderness instead of, man, we ain't in our house yet. Man, they done took our car. How I'm going to do this? The same thing you just said is I took the step by listening to his voice. And now we see what it's going to do. Now I'm sitting in rooms with people talking about Netflix and all kind of stuff, and I'm sitting around like, I know a little bit. I don't know it all, but I know how to learn because I had to take that leap. So, man, I love your testimony, and that's the part of Death in the Wilderness. Wrote that book to show people and live it out, that if you will follow what God say he's going to, but it's going to be scary. Oh yeah. Man, I could just imagine you like, man, God, that money ain't came yet. What we doing now? I done told my wife, we sitting up here. Trust me.
Yeah, and it definitely. I mean, now don't get me wrong. You know, my wife took a lot of steps that helped facilitate that as well. But I just knew when she came and talked to me, you know, I was like, look, I mean, there's two things. One, God has told me to send it and do that. We're going to do it. I don't know what's going to happen. I got more testimonies too, but it's about you, sir. But it was just, when that happened, I was just like, yeah, I'm ready, man. I'm listening no matter what. Like, I'm good. I quit my job. Now the job I'm doing, I'm enjoying it. I see the purpose that God has for me where I am. And I feel that it's getting closer and closer. Like, when I hurt myself, we were doing a free job for somebody who needed it. His mother passed away. And we were doing a free job just to help him. We had some leftover mulch. We went and did his house and stuff like that. And unfortunately, I got attacked by a different neighbor's dog that tackled me and hurt my knee. But it still didn't stop. It still didn't stop the blessing that was for my neighbor. You know what I'm saying? And for him. And that was what it was all about.
Hurt for a reason, man. You don't know why. It slows you down from going somewhere you wasn't supposed to go.
Probably. I didn't want to go. To be honest with you, yeah, there was something I didn't want to do at work. And now my knee, I ain't got to do it no more. So, but it's all good, man. But I mean, I'm just blessed. Like I said, right now I'm watching the blessings. Like, I'm being obedient. I know what God has for me, and what, I made a step forward in my personal life with my church work. Now I'm working with the youth there at my church, which, after Chef Dennis gave me a hard time because, right after I was talking to Chef Dennis about that, and this is how God works, the very next day, matter of fact, I think it was that night, you know what I'm saying? I was telling him, Chef Dennis was like, you ain't doing nothing at your church? I was like, nah, I don't really feel like my pastor needs me. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, I was like, I'm starting to go look at other churches. And me and my wife had talked about it. And sure enough, that Sunday, I wasn't at church. I was going to go to another friend of mine who's a pastor's church. And my pastor stood up and said, if anybody's we're going to revamp the youth ministry. If anybody's looking to be a part of it, hit me up. So I hit him up. And now I'm going to be a part of it because I sat there and said it was because I didn't feel that my pastor needed me. And then that Sunday, he says, we need people. You know what I'm saying? Especially to exactly what I wanted, what God had told me a long time ago that I was going to be involved. So, yeah. Oh, that was 15 years of me running away from that. Yeah, I've been running from that for a while. So, but yeah, God has done, God has done those things, and I'm in a great place. But enough about me and my wilderness journey. So my next question for you is, what do you think? And I mean, we kind of already discussed this, but what do you think is the biggest lesson that God, when he has us go through these wilderness journeys, what is the biggest lesson that God is trying to teach us? What do you think that is? And Reggie, I want to hear what Pastor Dennis got to say about that, because he been a little on fire. So I want to see what he got to say about it real quick. Then I'll come to you, Matty Ice, and then you at the end. Because you wrote the book, but I'm just curious to what Chef Dennis feels about what do you think about that?
Man, why you said that to me? Let me show y'all something for real. Like, it just came to me just like that, just like anything. So it's I'm talking to the men right now. When you want this is real talk. When you want your chest to be bolder, you have to do something. Guess what? You got to go through this pain. And that pain shows you that there's the growth. Same thing. And you got to go through that because you want to see the results. And so God allow us to go through things because we have to go through it so we can see the results. The pain and the suffering we go through, it comes with a great reward. And so as hard as you work at it, I'm talking about the chest or the arms or the legs, as hard as you work at it, there is pain that you have to go through. That's where your growth comes in at. And so when you're working on the muscle, guess what? Pain, after you go through the pain, you will see the results in the end. But it's a certain amount of pain you got to go through so you can see the growth. And God wants you to go through things so you can see the growth. Once you're on that journey and that pain and that suffering that you go through, you might not see it now, but you'll see it in the end. And guess what? You got to go through it because that's something that we all have to go through because we have to be broken. That's how your muscles going to grow. You have to break it down and so it can grow again. Without that, it's not going to grow. It'll be stagnant. So if you go in there and do the same thing over and over, you're not going to grow. That's why you got to read, you got to study, you got to worship, you got to pray. These are the things that's going to help you grow. If you don't do those things, guess what? You'll never see growth. You'll never understand what it means to grow because you're doing the same thing over and over and you're not changing things up. So you got to change up the exercise. Yeah. Change up the exercise so you can see the growth. God wants you to grow. And so there are certain exercises. Now we're going to we talk about spiritual. There's certain exercises you have to do so you can grow spiritually. You can't look at things natural. And so a lot of people look at things natural and they miss the spiritual part of it. And so when you look at the spiritual part of it, that's where the growth comes in at. And so we got to go through pain. And that's how we understand what God wants us to go through. Because guess what? We are soldiers in the Lord. And so Rodney has a different job. I have a different job. Reggie have a different, Matty Ice have a different job. And so guess what? His pain is not going to be the same as mine. But guess what? The destination is the same.
Hurt. Understand, understand, but the only pain I'm trying to go through now is picking up a cupcake. So I'm just waiting on.
You ain't right.
I'm just waiting on Velvet J's cupcakes to come through, and that'll be very painful as
Hey, Rodney. Yeah. Well, listen, I'm gonna speak this in existence because I've been touching down in Texas for a long time. A lot of people been hitting me up, and I'll get my taste before you will because I'll be in Texas. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Doing? I will be. Listen, I'm going to go see them because my son is in Texas. So, and I'm a traveler. I like to ride around. So, guess what? I'll be getting my taste first. If you want to take a ride with me, you and the wifey and the kids, you can. We gonna fly out there.
I got family. I got family in Texas. I can send a note out. I'll get a ticket sent to me.
Hey, listen. Summertime's coming. Hey, Reg, I'm speaking in existence right now, Reg. And this is Foreman. Guess what? I guarantee, and we're going to have pictures, and we're going to put it on live, y'all. I'm speaking it right now. I'm giving authority to it right now. Listen, we going to be in Texas. I'm going to get my cake, and I'm going to cook for them. Get at me.
We got and I need Kevin to hook me up with that haircut, too. Make that happen, too.
And I'm going to got Cam, too.
Yeah. Matty Ice, you here?
You're mute.
Yeah, I'm here.
Even though Chef Dennis didn't answer the question, but we're going. He went into his old tangent.
Let me hear the question one more time, man.
He said he want to hear the question one more time.
What is the biggest thing that God is trying to teach you when you're going through the wilderness stage of your life? What do you feel? There we go. Kevin said he got me. See? There we go.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the biggest thing he probably tried to teach me is to sometimes you gotta be silent, man. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to take a moment to be silent. You know what I mean? Sometimes you try to keep moving fast. You know what I mean? Feeling like you got to do something, but sometimes you just got to take a moment to be still so that you can hear. You know what I mean? What you need to do or what's going on. You know what I mean? Because you know what I mean. You can go left, you can go right, or you can stay still sometimes. You know what I mean? And sometimes you got to stay still, you know what I mean, and be patient to figure out what's going on and what you need to do. Um, and a lot of times, you know, also just learning that when things not going right, that don't mean they went wrong. You know what I'm saying? It just didn't go the way you thought they should go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it taught me to not always look at it as a, you know, I mean, the disappointment is just nah, it wasn't time, or that wasn't what was right for me at this moment. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I mean, it's all about your mindset, and it just taught me to have patience, man. You know what I mean? That's what I've learned, to have patience and to look at things through a different lens sometime. You know what I mean? You gotta reframe it, refocus it, and figure out, you might not know why. Like I don't know why this is going on right now, but I know in the long run it's gonna work out in my favor. You know what I mean? I might can't see it now, and I've seen that throughout the time. You know what I'm saying? I ain't know why it was going on then, but then I look back and now like, oh, you know what I mean? Sometimes your biggest, what you thought was a disaster, was your biggest blessing. You know what I mean? So that's what
That's
it's told me.
facts.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Reggie, sir,
I
you
mean,
want
the
me to
biggest
reread the
thing,
question? Oh, you
nah,
got
I know what you said. I think the biggest thing, like you said, is we talked about earlier, was teaching me to hear his voice. But biblically, he said, remember the Lord your God who led you the entire journey, these 40 years in the wilderness, so that he may humble you. That one thing first, that he may humble you, so that you can hear his voice. And it's like, man, I said, you get the chance to look back and say, God, first of all, God he know better than me. You got to learn that. You in the wilderness learning that God know better than me. He knows what he's doing. I need to surrender to him. He created me. That's just square one, which that does lead into the growth. But the main thing that it did for me was it definitely taught me to hear his voice, to surrender, and then to understand that whenever God say move, he know what he doing. Because you don't, when you're moving and shaking and always making things happen, you don't hear God until what? That storm come, until it get hard. And then you crying out to God, hey, Lord, where you at? What's going on? He said, I've been trying to get your attention. I've been calling you. I've been telling you to do this. And so when it start falling apart, you like, all right, God, I surrender. Like it is with that 4-5 pointed at you. you got your hands up. You surrender. So the greatest things I love is that God gives a relationship to you. He humbles you, and then he shows you what's in your heart. You get a chance to see. I wanted to show you who you are. And that's what he's been doing for me, showing me that it's greater, but also I had a lot of more dying to do.
yeah. Yeah. So for me, yeah, I mean, I agree with everything that you guys said. For me, it was those two things. One, I had to get rid of the voices. I had a lot of voices, and even one of those voices that I had to get rid of was mine. You know what I'm saying? And really, and what what Chef said earlier was surrender. You know what I'm saying? Really surrender to the fact that, I mean, like in the last year, I've changed so many things. God has changed my mindset on. I used to be one of those people like, my bank account was I'm doing good. I got money. I got this. I got that. I got this nice house. I got what you call it. And then now it's come to me like money don't mean anything. It like, what is my bank account when for me now, the biggest thing that I say all the time that I'm standing is, will I have to answer to God for this? Will I have to, and am I making that decision that is the right one? Because, will I have to answer to God? If I talk to my wife this way, will I have to answer to God about that? You know what I'm saying? If I make this move that I clearly know he's telling me to go one way and I'm going another, will I have to answer to God for that? And it's a lot of different things, and that's been one of the things that I sit there and say to myself before I make a decision, because I want to make sure it's not my It's not my greed. It's not my pride. It's not my humbleness that's making me make it, or not being humble, make this decision. You know what I'm saying? Like when I just told y'all when Chef Dennis and me had a conversation, and my wife told me what the pastor said. I stood there and had that same fear that a lot of people have. You know what I'm saying? Because we say that we want all these things until we get them. And then the moment where I got that, I got afraid. And I heard God say to me, you know, it's time for you to jump. And I put it equivalent to I was telling Chef Dennis that I felt the equivalent of being on a high dive. And I kept on running out there to the end, but then stopping and walking back. Then I get my courage up and I run again. And then I stop and turn back. And then I heard God said, it's time to jump. And then I made the phone call. You know what I'm saying? I made the phone call and said I'm jumping because I sat there and told you I would, God. So I'm making that jump. I'm making that jump. What's up, Malik? I always appreciate you, even though we don't agree on anything. I still appreciate you in the comments, Malik.
Hey, Rodney, I want to say something to him. I want to say something.
Hey, this boy Rodney be straightforward.
He said to surrender means have been defeated. No, not when you walking with God. Let me explain. I'm gonna touch on that for you. I want you to be encouraged because listen, there is a greater, higher being. If you believe in there's evil, there is good, and God will move in your obedience, in your surrenderance. Know that. If you don't believe it, try him. Surrender unto him and try him, and I guarantee you he will bless you abundantly. But guess what? You have to go through something so you can understand what his surrenderance means. That's not surrender unto man. It says surrender unto me, and I guarantee you he'll bless you. I'll pour out a blessing that you can't even begin to receive. Know that. And this ain't a strike at to you, brother. This is what encouragement. I want to know that because when people that is a tricky word what people use, surrender. They don't understand what that because guess what? You're looking at it from a natural aspect. Look at it from a spiritual, because guess what? When you pour out to him, he hears your cry. He receives you and he knows you. He know your heart already. And so when you come with an open heart to receive him, he know you. He know how you gonna move.
Yeah, and I want to tap in with that because everybody has their perspective. We have to understand that. I'm gonna say for me and the people I've been around who have come to the end of the rope and understand that somebody else created them. Let's look at your child. You have I got an 8-year-old and he keeps trying to do everything his way and it keeps falling apart. And then he finally said, "Daddy, I need your help. I can't do it on my own." Or I've already told him a certain way to do it and he never listened. So in the end of the day, he's like, "Daddy, I surrender. You know more than what I do." That's all it is with God. You cannot be existing on this earth, or if you have not ran into a position, because there are atheists that are financially successful. I always say this. They got money and they're atheists, but I'm telling you that their life and their heart are tremble. They struggle and worry to get the money. Then they got to struggle and worry not to lose it. They don't have peace with it. Not just talking about life after death. I'm talking about while you're on earth and you don't have the real internal peace of God. So for me and saying to other people, surrender is that you are surrendering to someone that created you, who created your life and that made you in his image. You're going to find out that, man, I can't do this on this earth on my own. If you pray and find, it ain't even got to be, I went to this church. I know cats in the joint when I was in prison couldn't stand God. I said, listen, all you got to do is call his name. He's still going to have mercy. I mean, I knew dudes that was rolling blunts in the Bible pages. And then God had to allowed them to be humble. So your surrender is according to your situation. But believe me, it's not it is though. Let's keep 100. You ain't nothing compared to God. You're a weaker vessel. This is God. Whether you believe or not. Because some of us on here had the big head. We was getting it. We thought we was invincible until life hit you. It ain't even got to be God. You reap what you sow. I was coming out of my house one day. I used to do bad stuff with these Chicos in Miami. One of my homeboys, Spanish dude, somebody stole his radio. I was about 16, just turning 17. And I was watching him want to kill everybody. Man, these other words done took my radio and everything. And I thought about, man, all these radios you done stole, all these radios you stole, what you reap is what you will sow. So whatever you putting out, there's going to be a time that you got to surrender to what you did. And it's better surrender to God than to surrender to things that's going to, them seeds you plant. That's surrender.
I'm gonna
I
say
don't know
something
what's
real
going on
quick.
in these comments, man. I don't even.
Nah, it's up. Malik's my man a million though. I appreciate his perception. I'm a run to the smoke type host. I don't dodge no smoke. You know what I'm saying? But Malik, you know, he has his opinions. That's all I got to say about it. He has his opinions, and I don't agree with none of them half the time. But I did want to say back to it with one thing. I'm just going to address this one real quick. The thing about it, Malik, when you get close to God, you hear him. It don't matter what anybody else is saying. Pastors, the Bible, churches are all tools. It's your relationship with God that's going to be questioned when you get up there. It doesn't matter what church you go to. It don't matter who your pastor is. It don't matter how many times you read the Bible. God is going to question you about your relationship with him. And in that passage that you're using, that's what he's talking about. He's talking about, because a lot of people can have all these other things, but they don't have a relationship with God. And a relationship with God is what we're talking about right now in this wilderness. The wilderness will make you have a real relationship with God that
My
you
God.
can hear him clearly. I hear God clearly. You can't tell me there's no God because I talk to him. You can't tell me that this person doesn't exist or he's not powerful because he's done these things that have been powerful. And I understand for a person that does not have that relationship, you may not understand. But the truth is you build that relationship with God, and that's what you're going to have to. Because I know Malik always goes into the people believe in church, Bible, all this other kind of stuff. Those are all tools. And it's your relationship with God that you're going to have to, when you're standing at judgment, talk about.
And Roddy, that's why I said when I was in prison, man, I always had to talk about that because I didn't have the Bible. I saw people getting stabbed. I saw fights. I've had God come to me in many ways that I didn't have no preacher. We just had somebody that visited. So that's what I'm telling people. I wasn't raised up in the church to where I followed the church. No, I met him in there when I was hungry, about to take my own life, suicidal. I've had times with God that I'm sitting in one of the easiest ones I use because so many testimonies. I'm standing there and I'm standing there hungry because I ain't had no commissary. I'm thinking about how I'm gonna get it, but I'm trying to surrender to God at the same time. So it's this old head walking around the top tier, and I'm like, God, man, I'm hungry. I'm ready to eat. You know, it's after because after 5 you don't have nothing in the joint. So he comes around and hey, we about to have a potluck, young man. You want to get in? And your first thought is, man, don't take nothing from nobody offering you nothing. And then I was like, man, it was almost like God said, I just answered your prayer. So I was like, I ain't got no soups or nothing you got to put in. He said, man, I got you, young man. The Lord told me to ask you. So what I'm saying is I met God on times there was no Bible. I read it, but I read in my personal situation where dudes pulled knives on me where I didn't have no money. And then somebody called. Then no one said, man, Lord told me to send you this $500. So in your personal thing, without even being scripture, now the scripture is powerful. All that alludes back to what I'm saying. Your personal encounter, I always tell dudes in the streets and in prison, because he let me talk some real. You might not want to believe in the church because submit some false stuff or you don't like the way it's written. But I tell you, if you call out to God, he'll show himself. And then he'll grow you the way he needs to grow you. Everybody ain't grow the same because some of my friends grew up in the church. I didn't. But I always had this feeling when I had homeboys that would curse on the church grounds. Like, man, we can't do that. I had that certain respect. So it was in me. But I tell anybody, not even to Malik who's listening, when you need the Lord, you could have been undid all kind of venomous stuff. He'll still answer you. Now, one thing this dude told me when I robbed the bank, he said, man, you still had to pay for your crime. I thought I was finna pray and get a miracle and leave trial. He said, no, you still got to pay for it. And so I had to reap what I sowed. I still had to do some time. So, but God will meet you where you at. And then he can teach you the scriptures. He can teach you stuff. Or if you believe beforehand, he'll show you. I know people that used to hate the thee, thus, thou. I don't want to read this. But when they was sincerely needing help, he said, if you sincerely seek me, I'll show you. So don't let it fool you. I done met the worst of the worst. Now, I don't want to hear nothing about that white man that cursing me out in prison. And then when I say, all right, I can't force nothing. But I can tell you I done had knives at me, guns drawn on me. I needed money and I ain't had to go do wrong. And God showed up out of nowhere. So just like Rodney said, oh, he real. We can't debate on what the D thus, the letter J wasn't there. Man, I done heard it all. Hebrew, I done went through it all. But boy, when I said in the name of Jesus, y'all see me? Look at my track record. Go look at my testimony. He showed up. He took a dude like me that was suicidal, robbed the bank from the Chicago projects. 10 books I wrote. Like Chef said, you're gonna say, how you did that? CBN, TBN. Mother was on prostitution, on drugs. See, I'm going deep in my testimony and turned it around so people can say, hey, boys, God had to help that dude. So I know he real. It is what it is, but everybody ain't gonna receive. So we ain't gonna force nothing.
Heard? All right. You know, I don't even know if I want to follow up after that. We can look, so yeah, I ain't got nothing to add. I loved it, man. I love it. I'm gonna go ahead and let that ride as we get ready to go into to go ahead and end this portion of the conversation. And I'm gonna get into reels. I got a couple reels that I want to watch that I selected to be this, and you know, then we'll go around and hear what everybody thinks about thinks about the reels, and we'll get into it. But before we get into that, Reggie, I do want you to tell everybody where they can find you, all on social media, where they can get. I already put where you can get the books, but you can tell them again, and where they can find you, where they can come to see all the things, all the great things that you are doing.
Amen. Hey, my Facebook is Reginald Foreman. It'll say God made. Website, like you said, reginaldforeman.com. Right now, we've been blessed to take over a TV station where we are looking at podcasts and different TV shows. I ain't just putting no mess on my channel, just being straightforward. The book, Depth in the Wilderness, is on my webpage. Man, we didn't even get into me starting a toy line. Hey, y'all don't understand. You talking about an ex-thug. Ain't no way I created this without God. This is my son in a wheelchair, a plush toy of him. He was diagnosed with cerebral palsy. And we have you talking about an African-American ex-offender creating a multi-million-dollar toy line called as big as Disney. So I'm giving God the glory. But you can find me at reginaldforeman.com. Facebook, Reginald Foreman. And then on Instagram is, I ain't even said that in the word, Reginald_Foreman. I don't forgot what my Instagram is. I ain't put it out in a while, but that's how you can find me my name.
Yeah, absolutely. And you got us. You see, your wife have you and your wife have a podcast too.
Oh yeah,
correct?
on Sundays we do Real Talk with the Foremans for couples. Chef and his wife been on there. So yeah, Rodney, we gotta holler at you and your wife, man.
Hey, me and my wife would love to come on there anytime, brother.
That's in there. My boy Kevin and his wife been on. We just talk about Real Talk with the Foremans. We talk to couples and we talk about relationship things. And we go live on Sundays, man. So it's been pretty good, man. We go deep because hey man, it's the best thing is having that better half, man. And we keep it 100 on there. Well, I don't know how to be fake, so it is what it is.
Yeah, no, hey, trust me, I don't know how to do that either, sir. And believe me, having my better half is definitely great. I know Chef Dennis's better half. What'd you say, sir?
That's a cat.
Oh man, that's what y'all finna do. That what y'all finna do?
No. Hey, Reg, I ain't gonna do that too. I ain't gonna do that too.
Do it.
Hey, that's how you do you. That's how you do you.
Yeah, I run right to the smoke. What'd I do? Tell me what I did. I like it. Come on.
Nothing.
No. Don't be humble now. Come on, let's go. What you got to say?
Joke.
You on my platform, man.
It's a joke.
He was messing with you, man. He was messing with you.
There you go. Hold on. There we go. Now we can go ahead and have this conversation. Yeah, remember you can't.
Rodney, you a mess,
in control.
Hey,
oh no, wait a minute.
Rodney a mess, boy.
Look, people gotta learn to humble themselves. You on my platform this time. This ain't your
Rodney
platform.
Hey, Rodney a hot mess.
I would get this dude back. Yo, he booted me off the.
Yeah, he did that.
I'm just letting you know, sir. You gotta be careful, man. You gotta be careful who you who you dealing with. You don't want to deal with the
Hey,
guy
y'all
with the
be
button.
going at it.
I
Y'all
got
be
the
killing me.
button.
That's how I know y'all friends. Y'all be killing me.
But it's all good. Nah, it's just to be a better person. But Matty, I tell you, I've been like this all my life, bro. This ain't nothing new.
Oh yeah, it took time to get that way. That's what they tell me. Right? It took
Yeah.
time for me to get like this. So I just thank God for the wilderness. We both been humble, bro. I can tell. So it is what it is.
Life is great, brother. But I'm glad you had Chef Dennis' better half in there. You learned where he really learned everything from. So because I mean, he couldn't get there on his own. That's for sure. But all
Hey,
of us,
nah, they was
we've done
good guests.
shows. You check us out. We've done shows with all our wives on it, and they were
Okay.
great. Maddie Ice, Miss O, shout out to her. And we all. I'm 25 years. Matt, what are you? 18, somewhere around there.
Nah, we 21.
21.
Wow.
Coach 18. Yeah, so we all happily married husbands, and we talk about it freely on our show. That's what part of what Dad Mentality is about.
Hey, Matty Ice, what's your real name? Matty Ice.
Yes, sir.
What's your real name?
Matthew.
Matthew. All right.
Man, I don't know what he asked that for, but anyway.
You
gonna stop the whole show? You gonna stop the whole show for that? I was in the middle of something, sir.
Look, I'm just being obedient. The reason why I'm telling you this, I'm being honest with y'all. I can share this with y'all. This is where obedience come in. He told me to write his name down and the other guy, and I'm praying for him tonight. Nothing wrong. He just put that in my spirit. I just want to say that to you.
That's good.
God put that in my heart and said, pray for you guys tonight.
Good stuff.
Right.
Malik and you. And they don't take that the wrong way.
Hey, that boy Malik, I don't know who he is, but he been going in. Bless his heart.
I take all the prayers. I don't want to turn down no prayers, my bro.
No. I want you to look. This truly it's strictly from God. It ain't from me. God want me to pray for you guys today. And that's because, like I said, what we said earlier, it's about the renewal of the mind. That's it. That's nothing negative. That's positive. You know what I'm saying? The renewal of your mind. God will give you a different set of lens. And I'm saying that different set of lens. And when you start looking at things differently and you allow God to orchestrate things for you, you're gonna be like, wow, what happened? I should have did this long time ago.
Oh no, Matty gonna be okay, man.
Of course he gonna be
like
okay.
Earlier. He gonna holler. We gonna talk. I thought it was the other brother, but Matty was supposed to be on here too. That's good talk. Gonna be all right.
Yeah, he might be coming. He said he's gonna try to get in there if he get out his other class. But anyway, let's get to this reel.
Yes, sir.
And let's see let's talk about it and see what happens.
You gonna make it out of this thing successful. I promise you, I guarantee you this ain't the end. You might come out with all type of scratches and scrapes, you may be bleeding and crying, but if it's one thing I know is that the Lord ain't finna let your story end this way. And I know that because his name attached to it. You're not the only one in this. You're not in this alone. You just feel like you alone because you ain't got who you want with you. The Lord is in this with you. He got his own reputation to uphold too. And he ain't finna let your situation be what gives him a bad reputation. He has a 100% success rate in your current area of struggle. And you will be absolutely foolish to think that after all the stuff God has seen, he'll get to your problem and that'll be the first one he fell on. He ain't never failed on nothing else, but he done met his match with you. Listen to how crazy that sounds. He made you to succeed. Anybody that has ever created anything created it for a reason, and they created it to be successful. Who in their right mind would spend so much time working on something, making it so unique like nothing ever seen before, just to get to the end and say, man, I worked really hard on this one. I can't wait to watch it fail. Nobody. So why do you think God gonna let you fail? His name is attached to your creation. So embrace what you're going through. Stop looking at the situation as opposition and start looking at it as an opportunity for God to show out. You may need to start talking to your problems the way they talk to you. You need to look your problem square in the face and say, I don't know if I let you in or if you let yourself in, but don't get comfortable because you're finna have to go. I don't know how, but I do know who. And he said he had a place prepared for me and you ain't welcome. So I'll help you pack your bags and load your car, but you're gonna have to get away from him. It may take that, fam. People can call you lame, but don't you worry about that because in a minute they'll be the same ones calling you for help. If he ain't got you out of it, it's because he currently walking you through it. Keep walking with Jesus and see where you end up. You gon'.
Hey, man, that was fire.
Fire.
That was fire. Hey, Malik say that's just a pep talk. That's not gonna change anything. Bless his heart. Hey, that brother bless his heart,
Gotta
man.
stay blessed. It's hard to Malik sometimes. I got it. But all right, so I guess I'll just go first. I mean,
Oh, wow, okay.
oh, you Fred, Reggie,
I
go
was,
ahead. Nah,
hey, I'm gonna
Reggie,
say
go ahead.
this, man, because I'm just because of what he said. When I'm gonna say this to Malik or anybody else, anything can bless you that you receive. It's up to you to receive it. The right word in the right season can change your whole mood, the way your outcome, the way you see things. So what he said was so powerful because of the belief I have. If a coach, you've seen a coach walk in a locker room, and that's a pep talk, and motivate his players, the right words make them go out there and try to kill everything on that court or that field. So we know what motivational word. Now that what he said carries the word of God with it. It carries the force that God, if you believe, it's not going to impact you if you don't believe. But if God, who I done seen, like I said in my testimony, saved me from death, put money in my hand, fed me, if I already believed that he did that, so why would he create me for me to fail? That did a greatness for me. That was just a reminder, man, my name is attached to you. But it starts from your belief first. So if you already got a bunch of doubt, it ain't gonna do nothing for you. Same thing in sports. Man, you can go out there and kill it. Man, coach, we getting killed. I don't see how we gonna do it, coach. There's no way. You're not gonna perform to your highest potential. But boy, if that coach walk in there and say, I'm telling you, a beast, I done seen y'all do better, we can do this, and you start believing and receiving what's said to you, that's when you show out. So yeah, ain't that gonna work for you if you already doubting. So what I'm saying, what he said, as much as I teach and say stuff, he tapped me and reminded me, man, God ain't gonna build nothing to say it's gonna fail. That was good.
Yeah, Chef.
Man, that it definitely was powerful. You know, the word of God it shows itself to be true. You know what I mean? When God created us, He created us for a purpose, and that when you walk in that purpose, trust me, it's for the greater good. It's not to not see you fall and pick you back up. No, it's for a greater purpose. And we go through things because God wants to build us up for something. He wants to build you up. He wants to strengthen you because there's something in your life, in the time, in the season that you're in. He want to build you up. He want to take out all the impurities that's not supposed to be there and strengthen you. He want to give you nourishment mentally, physically. He wants to do that. And so it resonates with me so much because listen, I've been through so much. And when I look back in my life, I said, wow, God, I thank you. I praise you. Thank you for all that you have given me. Thank you for how you allow me to go through the storm and still stand firm and not be fickle in your word, not be fickle in this life. Thank you, God, for just showing up and showing out. I'm a living testimony. You know, I've been in car accidents. If you see my cars, head-on collisions, I walked away. Somebody say that's not your time. No, nothing in this life just happens. It has a purpose. Whether you see it as to be bad, no, it happens for a greater purpose. Know that nothing in this life we don't have. Look, we make choices and we decide to do certain things. It has a consequence in the choice. God gave you free will. There's a choice. You have to do the right thing. If you do the wrong thing, it's a price. It's a price. So when you walking in God's perfect will for your life, it's for the greater good. It's to show people that you can endure. You can go through the storm and know that somebody out there loves you. Not just man, God. That's why we here today. Loving on one another, encouraging one another. The world has to hear this. Guess what? If they not listening, they don't understand right now. Not just from us, other people. Just be encouraged. That's when I listened to that, I was on fire inside because guess what? It's another brother speaking something that's going to encourage, that's going to stir you up. Because I'm stirred up right now. I'm not, man, listen, trust me. Because God is moving. He's moving. He's moving in Rodney's life. Y'all don't know like I know. Like I sit there at the table with his family. He moving, he changing, his whole perspective, his whole life is changing. He's walking in the purpose that God has called him. And that's great to see that when you sit at the dinner table with somebody else that's moving in God's will for their life, it brings nothing but great joy to me and everybody else that know what it is to serve God. So I'm stirred up. I'm sorry, Ryan. I'm stirred up.
You good, brother?
Reg, I'm stirred up, Maddie. I'm stirred up. Because this what
Hey, Ronnie, man, I'm telling you, you gotta let me go before Chef, man. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
my bad. Next one, you go
Right,
first, dog.
I'm sorry, man.
My
Listen,
bad.
I love you guys. And you know, some people say they love you, but they don't really love you. They just pretend. This ain't no pretending. This real because God has shown me so much. Get on when it's time to get on fire for God. I'm on fire. I'm that soldier that's going into war. I know it's a spiritual warfare, and guess what? I'm standing in the gap for the men that don't want to stand because guess what? I want them to grow. I want them to love. I want to have unconditional love. That's what it's about. It's not about pretending, faking,
Hey,
fame.
let me tell you,
It ain't about that.
I want to say one thing, Matty Ice. I do this show for people like Malik. I don't do this show I'm not doing this show for Chef Dennis. You know what I'm saying? It's the fact that Malik is watching this show, listening to Four Brothers right now, and he may not agree with us, but he's watching. You know what I'm saying? And that's the whole reason why this show is here. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't have to agree with each other. You know, we don't have to agree with each other. Me and Malik have had several disagreements through with the comments and stuff like that. And Malik, and if he thinks about it, he's watched part of my journey because he's seen me on other podcasts before I started changing, before I changed my name to just Rodney Glover and took away the Beast One. He's seen that, and if you can't see a difference, which I know he does, you know what I'm saying, and probably questions even more, but that's how God works. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm okay. If nobody else watched this episode except for Malik, I would be happy. You know what I'm saying? Because this is why the show is here. This was the purpose of the show. It's to show people who have strong feelings, and I had strong feelings too. But once I got closer with God, those things started melting away, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes a huge difference. So I'm sorry. I just want to say that real quick. But Matty Ice, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, no, that video, man. I like what it was saying because you can go through anything, man, if you believe. You know what I'm saying? And whatever that belief is, you know what I mean? Because people believe different things. You know what I'm saying? And everybody don't have to believe the same thing. Everybody got a different relationship with God. Some people call God different things, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you know what I mean, you know that there's a higher power out there, man, that can give you strength, you know what I mean, and that can work through you, you know what I mean, when your thought process is right. You know what I mean? That's honestly what I believe. I believe, you know what I mean, it all comes through the mind, you know what I mean? Mind is so powerful, you know what I mean? You can create anything, you know what I mean, when your thinking is right, you know what I mean? And some people choose God to give them that belief, you know what I'm saying? And everybody has a different relationship with God. And there's, you know what I mean, that's the higher power, you know what I'm saying? And so I don't judge anybody for their belief, you know what I'm saying? I just want people to, you know what I mean, just believe, you know what I'm saying? And whatever you believe in, you know what I mean, that there's something bigger than you out here that you can connect with, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's my thoughts on it.
All right. We're gonna go into the second reel, and I'm gonna go ahead and end the show. Chef ain't here to do the terrible picks anyway, and I don't want to even wait for him to come so he can talk all that trash about the Commanders again. I don't got time for that. He was waiting on you, Matty Ice, because he wanted to say something. I'm surprised he ain't at least in the comments.
Yeah,
but we're gonna go ahead and play this last reel, and then get ready to get out here. Let's see. Hold on, I went to the wrong thing real quick.
I'll be honest to say, there are some storms I went through in my life that I could have avoided. I mean, some of the things in my life that I blamed on the devil were really a decision, but some storms can be avoided. Ask Jonah. The only reason Jonah went through a storm is because he had an appointment. God said, I'd rather take you through a storm. I'd rather take you through a hard time than have you waste your life in the wrong place. Now we got to get you there. If I have to send a storm to get you there, if I have to shut it down to get you there, if I have to remove people and comfort to get you there, you're going to get there. If you listen to the right voice. How many know and will be?
All right. I'm gonna let Mr. Foreman, I'm gonna let you go last. Matty Ice, go ahead. You said you want to start it. What'd you think?
That joint was quick right there, man. I ain't even gonna lie. I was sitting over here read these comments, man.
Oh Lord, he ain't even paying attention.
I
All
kind
right,
of
let's
missed the
move on. I
video.
got
ain't
something.
even
He
gonna-
wasn't paying attention.
Jeff Dennis, go ahead, sir.
The one thing I want to share with you guys in that message I received is that, you know, when I was in my car accident, right? And me and my dad had gotten into an argument. And in that argument, God spoke to me. That wasn't right what you said to your father. So I got into the car accident. And when I got into the car accident, I ran into a dumpster. I fell asleep behind the wheel. And I didn't call nobody else but Jesus. 5 times, Jesus, 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 Jesus. Hand on my chest. That's all I could do is think about Jesus. I didn't think about nothing else. But it was the relationship that I had with him. And then guess what? The first person that came to the hospital was my father. And so that message that I just heard, it just resonated with me because guess what? It's the voice. It's the voice that I always stay with me. It's Jesus. Know that voice. Get to know it. It's going to guide you. It's going to take you through. So many things is going on in this world. So that's what it resonates.
All right. I'll go next. So we can end with Mr. Foreman. So for me, you know, it's to me it tells you that you can still make bad decisions and God is going to guide you in the right direction. You know what I'm saying? And whether or not you want to admit it or you want to, you know, it don't matter how hard, you know, it does. I mean, it matters how hard, but if you are listening to him and you have a relationship with God, he's going to push you in the right direction if you don't want to walk through that door. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times we go in our own directions and then it takes God to stop us so that we can see that we're going in the wrong direction. And there's several times where I say this analogy that all these times I'm going door to door to door trying to find the right door. Which one is the right door? Which one is the right door? And finally I stopped and said, you know what? God, like, what am I doing wrong? And God tells me to turn around. And I turn around, the door was behind me the whole time. I was going to all these doors I saw and trying to go through all of them and never sat there and took the time to get the direction from God. And once you take the time to get the direction, you'll realize that door been there the whole time. You just wasn't listening. And that's what I always say is one of the things that has happened to me several times in my life. And now I've gotten to the point where I don't even go through doors no more. I just stand there and wait. You know, God, what's the direction, bro? Like, which what? You know, let me know now, so I don't have to sit, so I don't sit here and go through these doors like I've been going through. Mm-hmm. So that's what I got out of that. That's my little testimony. All right, Mr. Foreman, Reggie, what you got to tell?
The biggest thing he started off with was the truth that a lot of times we're blaming the devil for our own mistakes. Yes. There's 2 things I owned up to was a failed marriage. God had was giving me warning not to marry my son's mother. Not that she was a bad person. We just were 2 people that were not equally yoked for his calling purpose. And I had many warnings. So when I was thinking about, Lord, I've been to prison, I've been through this and been through that. Why I'm in a hard marriage? And he just reminded me, You had permissive will. You chose it. You persistently chose it. And so that's the one thing. And then when I robbed the bank, nobody didn't tell me to rob that bank. I did that. So in the strength of understanding, like you said, we don't have to blame the enemy all the time for our choices. What's good about that is, like you said, God will steer you and turn something into good. What was meant for evil, God can turn it into good. He'll give you a lesson. He'll teach you something out of it to make you greater. So when you fall, just remember, you reap what you sow. Not to the point of where it could be death. Some of us should be dead for what we did out there. And God kept us here. So that's when I love what he said, man. I always have to go back to that when I look at, because you can compile in your head, why God let this happen? Why this happened? What that happened? And then you got to realize, wait a minute, man, I didn't reap what I put out there. I've been doing some stuff. It came up and caught me. And so that's what I like about that. Like I said, you don't always can't blame the devil. Watch what you're doing. And God will use that to grow you and use you in your worst times. He'll turn it for your good. For those who are called according to his purpose.
There we go, fellas. There we go. Thank you. I want to thank everybody again for joining me in another week of Dad Mentality Podcast. It was definitely a great show, Matty Ice. I appreciate you seeing you again, man, and hanging out, brother. You know, I love you. And give Miss O my hugs when you see her next time. Chef Dennis, you are my brother, even though, I feel like I got to be the little brother that picks on his big brother all the time. So, but I'm excited. I'm excited to be that role for you. Or, I know you got plenty of little brothers that probably do the same thing, but, I appreciate you joining us together again. Tomorrow, 7:30, right? 6:30. Sorry, tomorrow, 6:30. Lady T back?
Yeah. She gonna call me. She gonna call me in the morning. She gonna let me know. So she came back Sunday. So.
Oh, I won't be here tomorrow. That's right.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, Unfortunately, I have my first meeting for the youth group that I've now joined to help out with. So I won't be there tomorrow, but I'll definitely be there Wednesday at 6:30. Check them out, from the battle to the glory. And I want to thank you, sir, Mr. Reggie Foreman, for joining me today and giving us all this great knowledge and just your testimony and the things that you've gone through to get you here. I read your book and I'm excited to read more and excited to see all the great things that God has for you as you go through your journey and excel and flourish. And, definitely am excited to, whenever you would like me and my wife to come join you and your wife and have a conversation. I am 100. We are 100% all in, and you'll love my wife. You think I'm great? It takes a special woman to be able to handle my ignorance.
Oh man, that's what they say about me. We good.
So it was a great time. Kevin next week. So yeah, make sure y'all follow us next week. We also got Kevin joining us, and Kevin Hughes is going to join us as well. He written his book that we have both read. Also, me and Coach. And we're excited to have him next week. And like I said, we're ready for the next edition of the Death in the Wilderness to find out what's going to happen. But I'm going to watch you as you grow and everything that happened to see what God has for you. I'm excited now, just happy to be able to become a friend and be able to witness what he's done. And just thank you so much for joining us. That's the end of the show. God bless. Good night.
Yes. Peace.